going on?
Thank you so much.
Feel like $1 million.
Shout out TMZ, you up?
Let me check out that rig.
TMZ stands for the Mayweather Zone.
How'd you find me, bro? I got my disguise on.
I love my TMZ family. Smoochie.
Welcome to TMZ Sports. I'm Mike Babcock. We are in full swing. NCAA tournament. Sweet 16 is set. And we are so fortunate to be joined by a guy who was once a part of, I think, a team that is probably the favorite right now. They are absolutely cruising, have been cruising, of course, talking about the Duke Blue Devils. And I know you recognize this man right here, Seth Curry. Seth, brother, how are you?
I'm good. What's going on?
Not much, man. I know we got a bunch to talk about. We're going to get to the cool things that you're doing, actually, that are tournament related with Bush's Beans in just a second. First of all, talk to me about this team. I think if anybody has rolled through the first two games, it is your Duke Blue Devils. Cooper Flagg, just an incredible performance by the entire team so far. As we sit here just a day away, Seth, from the game against Arizona, of course, a 4 seed, how you feeling about your Blue Devils?
I never felt better, man. They're looking good. They got all the talent in the world in that squad. They look like an NBA team out there, man. They're huge. They're moving around. Obviously, they led by Coop, doing what he did. And I feel like they're peaking at the right time. I mean, Coach K used to always say you want to be your best at the end of the season. They had a tough couple losses early in the season to some good teams. But like I said, they got better as season goes along. They're playing really well to the end of the season right now when their best is needed. So I think they got a good chance of going all the way.
Talk to me about Cooper Flagg specifically. I think obviously people expect that he will declare for the draft, will be the number 1 overall pick. You know what it takes to be an NBA superstar. You've seen generational players. How good, in your mind, Seth, is Cooper? He's
special, man. He's special. He does it all on both ends. Like I wouldn't say he doesn't have a weakness, but he can do everything you ask of him on the offensive end of the floor. He can play that point forward where he's running the show, take over at times, scoring the ball. He can get his teammates involved. He can shoot the J, get to the free throw line, whatever. And then defensively, he's one of the best defenders in the country already at that age. So I think he's going to translate well to the next level as well. And I can't wait to see him finish out this year and have a long career.
Would you be shocked if we look like 10 years down the road and this guy wasn't like a multiple-time NBA All-Star, like that he had that level of a career?
I really would. He's special, man. He does it all. He has that competitive edge too. Like he's nasty. Like you know what I'm saying? Like at that age, he's confident as it come, and he ain't afraid of anything.
Seth, how about Jon Scheyer? I know you obviously know John. I think you were a part of that 09, 2010 team together. Talk to me about John stepping into that role and filling Coach K's shoes.
I will say every time I watch a game, it's weird seeing John be the head guy over there at Duke. Like, first of all, I never thought Coach K would leave, but to see John over there running the show, it's a little weird to me. But I mean, he's like me. He's just a basketball junkie. You knew he loved the game. He's competitive as it comes. He lives basketball, so yeah. I'm not surprised he's doing a great job. He's doing a great job on a recruiting trail, bringing in top classes every single year, and it's good to see him put his own stamp on the program and not necessarily do it the way Coach K would do it his own way. And hopefully I see he's just getting better and just getting more comfortable every year.
I'm sure you got a lot of playing days left in you. Does seeing your buddy coach, does that make you say, hey, maybe one day I want to get into coaching?
I mean, maybe I see it, like I'm getting to that age now where you see some of the guys make that transition. It's like I always think of these guys as players, like not coaches. Yeah. So you see a lot of these guys who end their playing days and start going to the sideline. It's weird to me because I'm still playing, but you never know. I mean, we're basketball people, man. I'm a basketball guy in a basketball family, so nothing's out of the question.
Right. Maybe you follow in Dad's footsteps and go to broadcasting route. We'll see. You're a player now, though. All right. Talk to me, Seth, about what you got going on with Bush's Beans. This is NCAA tournament related, so this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, got a nice little collab with Bush's Beans. In my family, we got a nice recipe called Curry Family Caviar. Me and my wife make, especially around the March Madness time, where as you see there, you got the Bush's Beans mixed with some vegetables, so it's a nice little snack you can whip together and watch games, and it's a healthy snack. So if you go to fans out there want to go to yourfamonacan.com, you can go in there and get your own can of beans like you see there. And with your family name on it, get your own recipe on the back. It's a nice little keepsake to have in the house and watching basketball.
That's awesome. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten yet right now. So, yeah, that's awesome. I'll let you get out of here on this one, Seth. Did you give your brother some crap for the tunnel shot?
Oh, man. Last few days, everybody even hit me up. Is this real? Is this real? I'm like, I don't know. I asked him. He didn't answer. So, but now we know it's fake. I mean, we need to have a talk.
It's still impressive that he even hit the net from that distance. So
yeah, that's the crazy thing. Like, nobody's surprised if it was real.
Right.
Like, that's how he does that type of crazy. He's been doing that type of crazy stuff our whole life. So he's the luckiest guy on earth, I say. Or
what was Horse must have been terrible as a kid when you guys were playing in the driveway.
Yeah, like I say, I feel like he's the luckiest guy on earth because he's always pulling off crazy stuff. Those half-court shots, throwing it over the backboards. It's not fun playing him a Horse. You're right.
I can only imagine. Seth, thank you so much for your time. I know you're a busy man. I really appreciate you, brother. Great to talk to you, and let's go Duke.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Bucks star Damian Lillard out indefinitely with a blood clot in his right calf. When we come back, we have some positive news for Milwaukee fans regarding a potential return date for their 9-time All-Star. Stay with us. Welcome back to TMZ Sports, Mike and Mojo. Mojo, big news concerning one of the biggest stars in the entire NBA. Damian Lillard out with a very serious medical issue. But all hope not lost. Damian Lillard could very well still return this season. So first, let's bring you up to date with what Dame is battling medically. He was diagnosed with deep vein thrombosis, Mojo. Essentially, he has a blood clot in the deep veins of his right calf. Now, thankfully, doctors were able to catch this, and they have been able to take care of it to a point where it's not going to be potentially fatal for Dame. But make no mistake, that's how serious these blood clots can be, Mojo. They break off. They travel up to the lungs, and many, many people have died because of that pulmonary embolism, Mojo. So thankfully, again, doctors have that squared away. He is going to be okay. But the question is now, with only 11 games remaining in the regular season, and with the Bucks going to make the playoffs, what seed will they be? That's still up for debate, but they're going to make the playoffs. Will they have Lillard there as that second star to Giannis Antetokounmpo? That's the question. Well, we've talked to our sources, Mojo, and there is real hope that Dame can return, can come back this year. You know, they're not saying a prayer here. There is a real belief, there's real optimism that he will return to the court. Is it going to be next week? Probably not. But again, playoffs start mid-April, and they are hoping to have Dame back by then, and they need him. In the meantime here, they are fighting for seeding, Mojo. They are right now 5th in the East, but between 4 and 6 are very tightly bunched. Where you don't want to fall is to that 7th spot, because then you've got to play in the play-in game. So most importantly, Dame is okay. They've got this under control. Again, question is, will he be back, Mojo? We showed you his stats there. I mean, he's averaging near 25 points a game, over 7 assists a game. He's shooting well. They need this guy if they hope to make a run in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, man, and we're getting close. Only a couple of weeks away at this point. I mean, I hate to say it because there's never a good time for something like this, but the timing certainly could have been worse had this been mid-April. I mean, this could technically be what cost the team their entire season. But, I mean, hey, I mean, you're playing for a franchise in one of the nation's top sports, you know, one of the world's most popular games. You're probably going to have attention and access to the top medical professionals in the entire world, so you can kind of take some comfort there. I mean, the fact that the doctors and everyone, the specialists have been able to get to this before this becomes a pulmonary embolism and potentially cost someone their life. I mean, that's the biggest blessing here. You know, now that we've moved past that point, now it's just a matter of getting him back on the court. You know, 2 weeks, I don't think you have to worry too much about him being, you know, rusty when he comes back. I don't think his game's going to fall apart in just a couple of weeks. You know, potentially there's a world where he actually gets to come back rested, which is not a gift that many athletes get late in the season. So I don't know. There's a world where this could potentially be a blessing in disguise if he comes in ready and raring for the playoffs, as long as the Bucks can hold on, make sure they don't have to play in and, you know, get them a good seed. Then, you know, when we get to the playoffs, that is the only thing that matters. I mean, it's make or break at that point. But bottom line, not likely to cost him his life. They're going to be able to work through this and hopefully get him back on the court here soon.
Yeah, Mojo. And to your point about Dame getting healthy and them needing him, Giannis missed the game Wednesday night. They need Giannis to be healthy as they need Dame to be healthy. Without those two guys, you know, may as well, you know, hang up the jerseys and go to Cancun early, because the Bucks go nowhere without Giannis, without Dame. Bottom line, before we move on here, the plan is for Damian to be reevaluated by the doctors sometime over the next week, week and a half. They will obviously go from there. They're going to put his health, as they should, first and foremost. That's the top priority there. But if he shows improvement, you could see him on the basketball court sooner rather than later. Up next, another longtime teammate of Cain Velasquez is making a strong case that he does not belong in prison. Luke Rockhold asks President Trump to step in when TMZ Sports rolls on right after this. Welcome back to TMZ Sports, Mike and Mojo. Mojo, the MMA world still reacting to Cain Velasquez's 5-year prison sentence, although we know Cain will serve less time than that, of course. This was part of that case from a couple of years back in February of 2022, when Cain tried to shoot a man named Harry Galarte. Galarte has been accused of molesting, of sexually abusing a family member of Cain's. Harry Galarte was not the one that was hit. Actually, a family member of his was hit. Anyway, that's where we are right now. So Cain is going to be serving some time. Mojo, we talked to a guy who has known Cain for a very long time. Luke Rockhold and Cain Velasquez trained at AKA, the famed gym in Northern California, American Kickboxing Academy, for many, many years together. As a matter of fact, it was Cain, it was Luke, and it was Daniel Cormier, who were the three guys who were 3 UFC champions who really put that gym on the map. Well, we had an opportunity to speak with Luke this week, Mojo, not too long after the judge handed down the sentence. We asked him for his reaction. Luke wants somebody to step in here, Mojo. Watch this.
A lot of people are saying, like, glad he didn't do 20, 30 years. I think it's really just comes down to the fact that and this whole system's wrong. He's done his time. He's proved he's not a threat to society. He's done countless things. I've gone with him to a children's hospital to visit kids and see the joy that he brings people. He's the least amount of threat to anybody in this world. The real man that is a threat is a 45-year-old man living on the premise of a preschool. You're talking to everything that is wrong with society. And I mean, if there's ever a time for President Trump to step in and serve a real pardon that makes all the sense in the world. I mean, you got Biden out there trying to pardon his son for doing real bad crimes to people. I mean, that don't deserve it. Our situation is, I think, is somewhat justified.
Mojo, just one note before you weigh in here. As far as Donald Trump, so the Cain Velasquez charge is a state charge out of California. Obviously, Donald Trump is the president of the United States. The president can pardon people who have been convicted, but only for federal charges. And in this case with Cain, it's just not a federal charge. So the best Donald Trump could do was try and lobby the governor of California, who is Gavin Newsom. You may have heard Trump and Newsom not exactly best of friends. So as much as Trump may want to help here, his hands are really tied from the way I see it, at least.
I don't know about that one, Babcock. I think Newsom and Trump can come together and be friends. I mean, they more or less believe in the exact same thing. Just kidding. That's probably like the last pick of a person where Trump could just give him a phone call and try to easily, effortlessly work some things out. But yeah, I mean, it is an important note, right? I mean, people assume you're the president. You can literally get a get out of jail free card for any person in any jurisdiction. And that just isn't exactly how the government works out here. I mean, look, there's a lot of things to note. I mean, will Trump actually weigh in here? I mean, he might. I mean, let's not forget this is for a UFC fighter. I mean,
To that point, Mojo, as all this was unfolding years ago, Dana White wrote a passionate letter to the judge on behalf of Cain Velasquez. And as we know, who's best friends with Donald Trump? Dana White. So Trump, I'm sure, knows about this.
I mean, the UFC has got to be Donald Trump's favorite sports league on the planet. I mean, he is more or less royalty anytime he walks into a stadium. He's probably got a great personal relationship with tons of the fighters. Obviously, we've seen just a tremendous outpour of support from that UFC locker room. I mean, beyond that, I mean, anyone in a similar situation would probably at least think about doing something similar to what Cain Velasquez did here. You know, it is a little bit different, too, considering there has been years of time served for Cain Velasquez. It's not quite like they're asking for him to get off scot-free with no time behind bars. I mean, he's already, 3 years in at this point? So there is that. There isn't a ton left after this. I mean, you got to think, knowing the judicial system and how slowly everything moves, by the time they got the wheels in motion to let him out early, he'd probably be more or less out by then anyways. He'd probably get out sooner, just paying his time than actually waiting for litigation to step in here and seeing how that route goes. But bottom line is he has a lot of support in his corner. I don't think this is going away anytime soon. All of his friends are big stars and big celebrities with huge social media followings, big platforms to speak on. They're going to continue to sound off, which is going to encourage the fans and just the average Joe to continue to do so too. So I think this situation is far from over. I just don't know if I anticipate anything being expedited on the legal side.
Yeah, Mojo, to that point about the time he served, so yeah, you're right. He has done about 2 years on house arrest. He did almost a full year in county jail. He is getting credit for time served. 5-year sentence, already put 3 years in. In many cases in California, you can serve about half of the time before you're released. So don't be surprised if Cain Velasquez ends up just serving an additional year and then he's out. Coming up, days after signing Jameis Winston, the Giants have added Russell Wilson to their quarterback room. Find out Ciara's reaction to her hubby heading to the Big Apple when TMZ Sports comes back right after this.
On the TMZ Celebrity Tour, we've seen huge stars like Kevin Hart, Ben Affleck, The Rock, and Jamie Foxx. Buses depart daily from the Hard Rock Cafe in Hollywood, so head to TMZTour.com and book your tickets for the TMZ Celebrity Tour.
Welcome back to TMZ Sports, Mike and Mojo. Mojo, the New York Giants have got their quarterback. It's not Aaron Rodgers. It's Mr. Unlimited, Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, we learned Tuesday night, had signed a 1-year deal with the G-Men, a deal that $10.5 million guaranteed, but could be worth up to $21 million if he meets certain incentives. He's pumped about this, Mojo. Russell and Ciara, by the way, both of them very excited. So Russell Wilson, he goes to social media. He posts a photo of MetLife Stadium. Of course, that's where the Giants and Jets play. Been here before. Can't wait to do it again. Hashtag MetLife at Giants was the caption. Mojo, there's Ciara. Look, Ciara posts, I guess, hey, they're both New York teams. A photo of Russell Wilson in one of these spring trainings that he spent with the New York Yankees. Of course, Russell, aside from being a Super Bowl winning quarterback, also a really accomplished baseball player. Mojo likely could have played professional baseball. So they're excited. Ciara's excited. Russell's excited. I don't know how the Giants fans feel, but big move nonetheless, Mojo.
Sorry, Babcock, did you say he's Mr. Limited? Is that what you said? He's very limited as a quarterback? Because I thought those were the words that came out of your mouth. Other words that came out of your mouth were, I'm not sure what Giants fans feel about this. Well, luckily for us, our own host of TMZ Sports and EP, Michael Babcock, is a massive New York Giants fan. So rather than me weigh in on this, Babcock, what are your thoughts, sir?
He's not the guy. Look, I'm a big Russell Wilson fan now because I have to be, but he is not the guy that I wanted them to sign. I don't exactly know what the Giants are doing. And the reality is the roster sucks right now. It's not great. You look at some of the other teams in the division, all three of the teams, as a matter of fact, have either far better rosters or better rosters. The Cowboys to the Eagles to the Commanders, all three much better teams than the New York Giants. I think you've got a GM in Joe Shane and a coach in Brian Dable who are going into their fourth year. They barely kept their jobs last year, Mojo, and they know they need to win this year. That always makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable because as fans, we want to build for the future, but you've got two guys who are now fighting for their jobs, and they need to win this season. I'm not interested in watching the Giants go 9-8 or 8-9 and not making the playoffs. Nobody wants that. Build, rebuild, and then make a run. We'll see what happens, Mojo. Look, he was once thought of as one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I don't think he's that anymore. I hope I am wrong, Mojo. NFL season not that far away, by the way. Also be very interesting to see what the Giants do with that third overall draft pick now. Is Shedeur Sanders out? Do they go for another position? We will find out. Draft less than a month away. We're out of time, Mojo. I hope he plays well. I don't know if he will. I do know we'll have a great show tomorrow, though.
That's right, baby. Still repping my Maryland Terrapins a week after dominant performances, and that will propel us right to tomorrow, where it will be the best show since today.
I'm a lawyer.